morning. They do say that if you are going to tell a sad story, always play a bit of sad music at the start, just set the scene. But today's story is not about the fall. In fact, I'm going to tell you very quickly what I did. I fell off a ladder on a building site, trying to do the rush job, end of shift, unplanned work. But today's presentation is not about the fall. What I'd rather talk to you about today is the impact that poor safety choice has on my life over the last 29 years and all the people who've been affected, but also today look at maybe why. Why did I choose to work unsafe that day? Because it was a choice. Towards the end of the presentation, I want to talk to you about the bounce. I want to talk to you about how I find my life around the last 29 years. I really struggled with my mental health. And why that's important to all the health and safety choices you make every single day. After the fall, I can remember laying on the ground, a little bit of bang on the back of my head, and I tried to sit up. And it was that point I suddenly realised that I couldn't feel my legs. I was rushed to the local hospital. By the time I arrived, my wife, she was already there. Initially, I was taken for an X-ray, got took inside to wait for results, and the door opened, the doctor walked in with a big smile on his face. And I was watching him walk towards thinking, well, if he's smiling, this is going to be good news. Came to the side of the bed and said, you have been very lucky. We can't actually find anything wrong with you. You're suffering from a condition called spinal shock. And hopefully over the next couple of hours, couple of days, could even be a few weeks, you will gradually get all your sensations back. Just think yourself very fortunate. But he then sent me for a CT scan for a closer look just to make sure. So I got for the scan, came back in the room. Wife, she was now sat at my side. And this time the door opened, he walked in, and he wasn't smiling. And straight away, before he even spoke to me, I knew. And this time he came, he sat at the side of the bed and said, we have found a small fracture in your back, and you have suffered massive spinal injuries. And then he simply said, you will never walk again. And with that, he just stood up and he walked out of the room. The rest of the presentation was going to take about 50 minutes, if you're lucky. I do try to actually be human to presentation, just to break it down a little bit. In fact, my only rule is, if I do say anything funny, can you please laugh? Let's see some smirking. Obviously, the more we can laugh and joke as we go through this, trust me, the easier it makes it for everybody.